First of all, let's start off with your name, man, Chase. Explain what that means, and also give them your real name, man, so they can.
Well, first off, my government name it actually is Rodney Sherrills. Chase actually came from, it came from the Lord, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that I just made up myself. But it's actually an acronym: C.H.A.C.E. C stands for Christ, H stands for air, the A stands for anointed, the C stands for change, and the E stands for earth. So we kind of put it all together, and it stands for Christ, air, anointed, to change the earth. Basically, that's it.
Okay, like where did this name come about, man? Because most people, they know when we first came out, REC first came out, it was Roddy Rod.
Right.
So why the change, and where did the Chase come from?
Roddy Rod was just kind of like my nickname growing up, throughout high school, throughout school, you know what I'm saying? But God just gave me that name to kind of identify myself in the ministry. So that's the kind of name, he gave it to me. So, I just roll with it.
That's cool. So how long have you been rapping, man?
I've been rapping since 2001, so we in seventh year right now. Get ready, knock on the door, 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I know you got 2 albums out.
Yeah.
From the first album to the second album, just kind of talk about both of those. I think the first one was Daily, and then the next one, this one that just recently been released, is The Misconception. So, kind of give us an overview of, that first album and then up to this one.
The first album, of course, we were real young, real inspired, just to come out with something, just to put something out to the people after God gave us the vision. So the first album was a big learning process. The Daily album, of course I still love it, that's like the baby, that's like the genesis of where, REC and Daily Records started from. So of course, it's always holds a special place in my heart, everybody that worked on that album with us, from Big Steve, the Tasha, the Rudy, Abby, his wife, everybody, Dennis, can't forget him. Everybody that just put in and helped with that first album, you know what I'm saying? But, it was, like I said, it was a big learning process that we went through with the first one, in that process we were just really learning how to rap, learning how to write. So, of course, we learned some things. We learned what to do, what not to do, which brought us along to the second one, The Misconception, which was just released later at the end of last month. But The Misconception, it's a dynamic album. I love it, a lot of heavy content. You can tell the maturity, of course, even though it took us 3 years to make, so people mature over time. So over the 3 years, we learned a lot. So basically, it's an album that I haven't heard really many complaints about. Not to break bragging or boasting, because I make my boast in the Lord. But we haven't heard really a lot of complaints about it. People that have told us, the album is blessed and beyond measure. The things that we talked about, that a lot of people won't talk about. So it's been a blessing, man. So it's just been a growing process from the 3 years prior, the 3 years, before The Misconception, doing the Daily album, all the way to where we are now.
All right, cool. So like, kind of going back to what you said, with the first album, you said we were real inspired or whatnot. Who was your like inspiration then, as far as like artists, and like up to now, has it changed any or?
Back in the day, I'm kind of like like an old head when it comes to Christian rap. Back then, I was inspired by a lot of the A1 Swifts, Little Rascal, New Wines back then, not now, but back then, New Wine, Antonius, people that just came before us and did it, what I'm saying, kind of, showed us the blueprint of how to do what we do now. So it was a lot of those cats, what I'm saying, that helped, kind of shape and form, what I'm saying, my love for the gospel rap music, but now, as far as inspiration and the people that we kind of I look up to, what I'm saying, that goes as far as, Cray, the whole 116 clique, Tadashi, Trip Lee, Show Baraka, Cam, K-Drama, the people that we work with on this album, what I'm saying. I love Everyday Process, the whole Cross Movement camp. Got much love for them. What I'm saying. Anybody that's just doing it, man, and doing it right. what I'm saying. So that's the biggest. Those are the people that that I look up to. what I'm saying, and I inspire to work with. Hopefully in the near future.
All right, that's cool. Well, some of the people that you named, like, why would you say you a fan of those people? What I'm saying? Like, what is it about them? Like, what do you look for when you go pick up like a gospel album? Like, how do you like choose who you support and like maybe who you don't support?
That's a very good question. Basically, it's about the content and what you're preaching in your message, man. That's my biggest thing. That's one thing that we focus on in this group. You know, REC, that's what we focus on, is the message. You know what I'm saying? The message, the heart of the message, you know, which is Jesus Christ, building a relationship or strengthening a relationship that, you know, somebody may already have. So that's my biggest thing, you know, when I go out to support an artist. You know what I'm saying, is what they're talking about. And of course, you know, you don't want to bump nobody that's whack. So, you know, you want to listen for, you know, lyrical content and, you know what I'm saying, not that that's the most important thing, but, you know what I'm saying, all those things play a very important part in what we buy and what we listen to, especially on my part, because I am an artist. So I look for people that, you know what I'm saying, just want to glorify and uplift him just like I do.
Alright, so basically you're saying just because it's Christian, or they say it's Christian, you'll just go out and get it off the shelf.
Right, right, exactly. So, I mean, I check out all the sites, you know what I'm saying, the 3HMP3s, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know, iTunes and all that, you know, before I go out and cop an album. But, you know, for the most part, when I go out and support an artist, I pretty much already know what they bring to the table.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to run.